Before we head into this episode, just a heads up that this episode was pre-recorded from late 2025. Some of the films mentioned won't be the most recent releases, but if you want to stay up to date with the industry, then check out our socials at alwaysonfilm.pod. Enjoy!
Hey guys, we are Imi, Kitty and Luelle from the Always on Film podcast. No, I'm going to start again. Sorry. Ew! Okay, let me go again.
I do think that was high energy.
Hey guys, this is Imi, Kitty and Luelle from the Always on Film podcast team with the Transmission Roundhouse. Thanks again so much for tuning in for another episode with us today.
This episode we're talking to the lovely George Somner, and we're talking all things from the beginning of his career to him starting his own production company 13/8 and then the love of short films.
Happy?
I need to remember my posture.
I do
Don't
always...
worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just...
Yeah, no, watch it back and be like, no!
Oh, do I do clappy hands
Yeah,
today?
you've got the clappy hand. You've got the clap today.
Not the clappy hands.
Okay, George,
Hello.
thank you so much for coming today. We are just going to start this off with our regular intro, which is basically just what have we watched this week? Imi, what have you watched this week?
Oh my God,
Because
I'm
I know
first.
that you want to talk about something. So I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind
exciting.
I'm kind of a fraud because this was actually last week, or the week before. But I saw Urchin, which was
Sick.
Harris Dickinson's directorial debut, I believe.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
So effing good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
really
loved
wanna
it.
see it.
Yeah, and I had no idea what to expect going into it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I haven't watched trailers or anything.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying, didn't Frank Delane pick
Yeah.
up the Best of All It Can?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Sure.
I think so.
And I hadn't seen him in, I think he was in The Walking Dead or
Fear the Walking Dead
Fear
he
the
was
Walking
in,
Dead.
yeah.
I hadn't seen anything he'd done before,
Yeah.
but
He
he
was
was
in Harry Potter.
insane. Was
He
he young
was.
Tom
He was
Riddle?
young Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
In Order of the Phoenix.
Who's 16-year-old Tom Riddle?
Or
I saw it on
Half-Blood
IMDb.
Prince, I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly, and I've written her name down, Megan Northam. She played, without giving spoilers, a lady that the main character lives with for a bit. And I believe she's a French actress. I hadn't seen her in anything before, but she, for me, was like scene stealer. Like,
Nice.
I was like, wow, I'm going to watch more of your stuff. So, yeah, 10/10, recommend.
10/10.
Yeah.
Wow, great.
High praise.
I rewatched the original Scream yesterday.
I've not seen any of those.
Neither.
Never.
they're
Get them
fun.
away
I was
from
gonna-
me.
yeah,
I
nothing
just
against
think
slasher.
it's scary movie or script. Like I
Yeah.
just assume it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it's just like it's almost Halloween. I love a slasher. I love the original Scream. So I rewatched that.
What
will
are your
never watch
thoughts?
it.
What are you thinking about?
I hate scary things.
Oh right, okay.
Get them far away
like-
from Monster is a push
The
at Ryan
thing is-
Murphy.
The thing is,
Yeah.
Scream isn't...
Push.
Yeah.
That's,
Is it scary?
I don't know. It's
I actually haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but my friend was telling me it's quite graphic. With
the newest one.
Yeah.
The
The Ed Gein?
yeah. I never know how to say his last
don't
name,
know.
so I just
Is
avoided
that the
it.
one
I'll
that
bleep out.
Addison
The
Rae
Ed
is
one.
in?
Yes.
apparently she's very good in it.
Yeah.
Charlie Hunnam?
Yeah, but
Hunman?
he's all. I'm sure he's doing another series of Monster
Oh.
with Ryan Murphy playing a different character. I'm
In the next
sure he is.
series?
Yeah, yeah.
Who is it in the next?
I don't. I
It's
saw
that
it on
girl.
IMDb and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
they're,
Yeah.
they're making a lot of them.
Yeah, because
ones on the island.
I remember I auditioned for Dharma.
Did you?
Shut
yeah,
up.
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I remember auditioning for Dharma, and that was like even the material when that came in, I was just like, "Ah," and it sat
Yeah.
with me for a week, and I didn't really
Yeah.
know much about that character. And you do the research, and even the work that you do on it, you're like, I can't imagine shooting that for
Yeah.
6 months, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Heavy,
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
a lot.
Yeah.
No, those entire things. I'm like, ugh.
I enjoyed the Menendez ones though. I mean,
Was that the second season?
Yeah.
I haven't, yeah.
Yeah.
that
haven't
one
seen that
I
one.
loved, and I
Yeah.
also quite liked it because it was kind of quite breakout for the two
The
guys.
young
in it who-
actors,
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
So I
say
did
for
quite.
them.
I just there's like an added sense of like, go you. You know what I mean when
you're
you
like,
watch it because they
"Yoo-hoo."
smashed it. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't too scary. It was
Yeah.
more just like
No.
psychological.
Well, back to Scream.
Sorry, yeah. Back to what you're
That's what
talking
I was
about.
I don't think it's scary.
Yeah.
It's not scary.
Because you don't really have like any jump scares and it's not like psychological. It's just like a really cheesy slasher film.
It's quite camp.
Cheesy.
Is it?
It
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
yeah, because you
The
have Drew
first one.
Barrymore at the very beginning. Like,
What is it, like American high school?
Yeah,
That's the
that's
exactly it.
serial
Yeah.
killer, and there's all these kids, and they're trying to work out what's
and then
going on.
you have young Courtney Cox.
Oh,
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
Is she in it?
Yeah.
She plays a reporter.
Is it before Friends? After Friends?
During.
Could be during.
During.
And then,
During.
does she not come back for another one? Is she not in another
yeah,
one?
yeah, because
Are they doing it again?
they picked up the franchise 4 years ago again with Jenna
Jenna
Ortega.
Ortega, yeah.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Miss Wednesday.
Miss Wednesday. So I think they've done 2 of the new ones, and a third one is coming out. It has Jack Quaid had the first one in it as
Oh, yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but they've changed the cast for the new ones. I don't know.
Interesting.
You lose me with the new ones. I like the original.
Yeah, yeah.
They're iconic.
I
for a
will still
reason.
watch them,
Mm.
but I do love the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Well, Kit Kat, have you watched anything?
Yeah, mine's kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
No.
In comparison to yours.
Safe space.
I just I went and visited a friend, and I said I'd only ever seen the first Cars film, and what preceded was a Cars marathon.
How many are there? 3.
There's 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it just became a really in-depth analysis though into like the lore of Cars.
Yeah.
Like I was just sat there thinking they've not thought this through.
Oh, really?
So much.
What is this?
Like there's the Cars Pope. What does that mean? There's
What?
like Cars
I have not seen
Jesus.
the-
I just
Yeah.
sat there like
Everything.
having a whole existential.
I've seen them once and then like never again, but now I
Yeah,
feel like I need to rewatch
Don't.
them.
I love the first one.
The first
Yeah,
one's
it's
amazing.
great.
The
Good,
first one's
yeah.
amazing. The second one's it takes a weird turn. It's like a spy movie
Oh,
with Mater as the main
Yeah,
spy.
yeah, yeah.
It's really
that's funny.
Okay.
odd. And then the third one, it kind of goes back to normal.
Mm.
But yeah.
Well, have you watched anything recently that you've really
O-
enjoyed?
other than the conversation we was having at the start about the traitors, that's been.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We had a long
Obviously, we won't
traitors.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Flushed Away. I watched at the start. Of
Oh,
the week.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it's the first time I've seen it. I don't think
Really?
I've seen it before.
Did you know it's Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. I
What
was
the
like,
hell?
Is it?
Like, yeah.
Also, Ian
I didn't
McKellen,
know that.
yeah.
Yes.
isn't it?
Is he
I
the big
think?
slug? The like
the frog.
Oh yeah, maybe I was thinking of the frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was so sacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was. But yeah, Kate Winslet's voice is actually quite unrecognisable in parts of it as well. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think, kudos to
on.
the acting,
Range.
Kate.
Right.
Yeah, it's really nice. It was fun.
Disappears a bit.
Yeah.
Well, on the topic of films,
Yes.
do you want to share with us what your favourite films are? Any films that I know it's a big question,
Yeah.
but any films that you know that have stayed with you after watching them? Any films that you go back to watching?
Yeah. Such a basic answer to start off with, but The Godfather is always a film that I never
Yeah.
miss whenever it's on. If it's on TV, everything's stopped.
Yeah.
I'm
We were
watching
talking about it recently because for some reason it's gotten that reputation of like, you know, like if there's a man and tells you his
Yeah.
favourite movie is Godfather.
Yeah.
Right? I love The Godfather.
I think
Yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
I'm not here saying it's my favourite film, but
No,
I
but
think it's like
it's a good film.
It's a joke how good it is. But other films, I think I remember coming away from watching Victoria. Have you seen that? The one-shot film
No,
I haven't.
in Berlin. Oh my
It's
god!
amazing.
About the Queen
It's
Victoria?
incredible. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
it's just this. It's essentially it's this night out, and it's one shot. I think they did 3 takes, and they either I don't know. I never remember if it was the second or the third take that is the film. But it's incredible. I think from a technical standpoint, and obviously it's really popular at the moment. We saw Adolescence come out
Yeah,
recently,
the one. Yeah.
and I think a lot of people are flabbergasted by,
Yes.
by that, by the the technical aspect of all of that. But I remember watching Victoria, my partner showing it to me, and I was just like blown away because it doesn't take away from performance. I think sometimes if you're so set on achieving something technically, there's other things that might fall short. There might not be space for performance, or there might not be space for other departments to really shine and do their thing. I never spied anything in that felt like it wasn't at the standard of the camera work. So yeah, I thought that was awesome. What else? Did you ask for an amount of films, or are you just asking me?
Any.
How
Alright,
many?
could be something different.
However many, don't
Um,
worry. Yeah.
Short Term 12 is a film I like to go back to. That was like Brie Larson's breakout. It was like before Room, I think it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched it. God, when did I watch it? A few years back.
Yeah.
Actually quite surprised by it. Yeah.
I remember seeing it online like finding out about this film, watching a trailer, and I think the way that I got it, because it wasn't available in the UK, I tweeted to someone on one of the producers or something like that,
Really?
and they sent me a copy of the film.
No way.
Yeah, and I just paid them for the postage. So the first time I saw that was they
Yeah.
kind of sent it over.
Sorry, that's so random.
Oh
You're like,
It was. I was
"Hi,
just like, I
guys,
really
can
want to see
someone
this.
send this, please?
Yeah, yeah, and I
awesome.
remember watching it, and I remember thinking it was awesome. Lakeith Stanfield, I think that was probably his breakout film as well. Rami Malek's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, just a really nice film. I like films that have a fair amount of social commentary on them and
Yeah.
kind of look at real life situations that we can all kind of apply things to. And I think there's a lot of real, just human characters in there that we can kind of look at and empathise with, and yeah, it's a nice one.
Good answer. So, little silly question.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite cinema? Like, because
Ooh.
to all of us, we always have like Kitty goes to the Prince Charles Theatre
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, I
Nice
kind of
cinema.
live there.
Yeah.
Please sponsor us.
I was going to say, Amy basically lives in the Curzon.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Dog days on
I
a
was going to say
Sunday.
my favourite is the Electric in Notting Hill. It's
Cool.
really old. Love it.
Yeah, I've
there.
not
So
done that one.
pretty. It's stunning.
Catford Muse.
Oh.
It is a great cinema. It's really community based. I think they were struggling keeping the place open as well a couple of years ago. So I think the community kind of rallied together to ensure that it kind of stayed
that's
there.
really
I'm not
nice.
sure where they're at funding wise, but when I moved back to London, I moved back to Ladywell, Lewisham area. And yeah, Catford's obviously close by, and you walk down there into the centre of Catford, and there's just this amazing space, and they got really good food vendors and stuff in there.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, always a really nice place, particularly if you're southeast to check out. I think that's a good one.
Nice.
And then I always think about, like, when someone says the word cinema, I think of in South Birmingham there was in Rubery there was a cinema that we always used to go to. So we'd get the train up there when we were kids and stuff like that. And I was banned from there for about 18 months.
Sorry.
Um,
Do you want to elaborate
no,
on that?
just because like you're sneaking in and stuff like that. And I
Okay.
remember they collared me. There was two friends that I was with. Yeah, I remember we was in the arcade afterwards, and they were just like, "You guys can't come back in." We didn't try our luck afterwards or anything like that. But I think it was like an 18 months ban. But I don't know if it was an Empire or an Odeon. I know it's switched hands, but yeah, whenever the word cinema comes, that's the
That's
one
what
I
you think
picture.
of, yeah.
Me jumping over a little turnstile just to get in. But yeah, so fond memories.
Fond memories.
Yeah.
Do you have any film hot takes? Anything that you think is either like underrated or overrated? It can be either.
Well, overrated's hard, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's an absolute slog getting a film made.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it just for my opinion. Underrated, I would... Was it? Yeah, I think Anatomy of a Fool didn't get as much...
Sandra Hüller, she was amazing. in
Yeah,
that.
it was
Yeah.
like I just thought everything about that film, from the first shot of the bull just dropping down the steps, and I just thought it was incredible. All of the stuff within the court and the use of sound instead of imagery during that. I don't know. I walked away from that and was absolutely blown away.
I loved that one.
I thought it was
yeah.
incredible. Was it underrated? I'm not sure, but I think it's a film that everyone should definitely see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, for some reason, I always think of Triangle of Sadness when
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
asks me what I think
love
is
that
a
Yeah.
underrated movie, because of
Yeah.
course it got some buzz.
Yeah.
But first of all, I'm a big fan of the director Ruben Östlund. He's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
fantastic. And I went to I used to live in LA,
Yeah.
and I went to a screening there where he did a Q&A after.
Right.
And his brain is so interesting.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, every time he kept he was like, oh yeah, I just woke up one day and I was like, what if we do this? And then he was talking about the entire boat scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you just wake up and think of that?
But I
Yeah.
think isn't he doing another? Where
Yeah.
the entertainment system is down there, and
Yeah.
it's set on an airplane,
Yeah.
and
Is it?
the entertainment system goes down.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
So
literally it.
it's
He said
carnage.
That. I was going to say in that Q&A, he teased that, and he was like, well,
Right.
we're going into pre-production of this new one, and my entire idea is to make an audience sit
Right.
through a 2.5-hour flight that's super uncomfortable for everybody on the flight,
Yeah, yeah.
but it also will be
Those
super
watching.
uncomfortable for you sitting there. and I'm just so intrigued.
It's genius,
now.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It also has quite a good cast. I think it has Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that one. And he's one of those like directors and filmmakers where I'm like, I need you to do everything you want to do
Yeah.
because you're so good.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's
So
good, isn't
good.
it? I think when that translates onto screen as well, that you see that someone's brain is working in
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
way to ours,
Yeah.
and you start to pick up on it. I think there's nothing worse than sitting and watching a film, and maybe it's just a me thing, but like anticipating what comes next and then
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
like to anticipate what's coming next and be completely wrong.
Completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this issue all that I can't watch like murder mysteries
Mm.
because I'm just like, oh, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And
You're
I've
too
actually-
clever.
I've been told by my family I'm not allowed to speak if we're watching because I'll always be like, well, it's obviously them, and then it ends up being them.
Being them.
But I think because I think that whole genre's popped
Yeah,
off, hasn't it?
yeah.
Because of like Glass Onion,
Yeah.
Knives Out.
Knives Out, those films. But I didn't guess those ones
I
at all.
didn't.
I didn't know them.
No, especially the second
You
one. I was
did?
like, wow.
Okay, well, yeah, you can stay clear of them.
I ruined Knives Out for my whole family.
Really?
So I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's obviously him. Oops.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it though. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's
you
a good
know.
film.
They
I
are
just-
really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Glass Onion, I think you knew better than in Knives Out. I think I didn't know it in Knives Out and Glass Onion, I guess correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember them now.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't the third one just coming out
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I still watch, like, I like these films.
Are
It's
they
just
Yeah.
books
I
or are
don't-
they original?
original.
they come from
I'm
books?
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they're inspired by the entire world of like the
Agatha Christie, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
stuff.
Whodunit.
The
Whodunit,
classic cozy
yeah, yeah.
crime.
See, I just watch them like, oh wow,
Oh,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That's nice.
good.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's a great place to be.
Just be ignorant in
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
It's great.
absolutely.
You need to be.
You'll always be surprised.
Yeah, expectations will be
happy.
met.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
lower them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just to dive into kind of your career, what you did. So you started acting
Yeah.
or acting training early on as a teenager.
Yeah, so I grew up in like South Birmingham area, a small town just outside of Birmingham, but went to college in Stratford upon Avon, obviously the RSC and stuff like that there. So I moved to my grandparents' house and went there for 2 years, which was great. Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where you go and you do drama at school and you're like, oh, this is
Actually,
a bit
quite
of a
fun.
dust and really fun.
Mm.
And I think particularly at that age, whenever you do get small bits of praise or what's the word? Probably just attention in general, but from a teacher, and they really like they see something in you and they show that support and they give you that. I kind of had that at GCSE level, and then was really confused because behaviourally I wasn't great at school. I had a great time, I enjoyed it and stuff like that, but I think sometimes that comes at the detriment of other people's learning. But yeah, that teacher was, I don't know, I guess saw something that was just, I don't know, kind of coming out of me and seeing that I enjoyed it and all of that. And I had a friend that was going to Stratford and they explained that it was just a drama course. And I was like, what? I was like going to do like leisure and tourism at A-level. And I was like, I'll do that. And you had to audition, and I auditioned, and then to receive that yes, I'm sure everyone that auditioned got a yes, but like to receive that, it was like, oh, great, cool, let's go do this. And then, yeah, whilst at Stratford, you get to work with the RSC. Like we opened up one of their rehearsal buildings. We did some work on Othello with them. And it feels like you're being kind of looked after. That was my first sense of industry, I guess. And it was so far away from what I know to be industry now. But yeah, it was a space where you were able to learn and figure things out. And it was very much like my peers that were on the course. My best friend on the course was the oldest on the course. He'd been working as a tradesman. I can't remember what he was doing, but he came and jumped on the course when he was about 21. And I was the youngest, like my August birthday, and I was 17 at the time, and stuff like that. But we kind of connected, and he educated me on drama schools and all of that type of stuff. And even when we were there, because of his age, he was able to audition. And he got into RADA in the second year, but like I didn't audition at all. I think mainly because there was a financial barrier, like coming down to London, paying for your train tickets, not only paying for an audition fee, and then you know I'm hearing stories from my friend Ryan that it's multiple rounds, so you have to come back on another day, and I was like, that's just not something that
not feasible.
that I would want to ask my mum for or my grandparents for. So, I put on a brave face and was like, cool, you go and do RADA and I'll just start working and I'll try and figure that out. And I'll go out there and, I don't know, like just figure it out. And I did. I just emailed every agent under the sun. I mean, I must have been emailing like the biggest agents at Curtis Brown and Independent saying, come to Stratford-upon-Avon and watch me in The Recruiting Officer, a restoration piece. Obviously got no responses from anyone like that, but there was an agent that was interested in meeting with me, and I spent some time with them just having a conversation. Came down to London for what felt like one of the very first times. And yeah, they signed me and got me my first job on like Doctors and things like that.
Nice.
And then just kind of continue to try and build from there. Like it's always a case of sometimes you're going in for like jobs that can really move the needle for you and adjust things like and put you in front of not only audiences but the right producers and casting teams and things like that. But for me, it was always, what's the next small step? How do I take the next, what's within something that what's achievable for me right now? What can I go out and do to ensure I can keep moving forward? And that was, getting better headshots, or that was recording a monologue and sending that to a certain casting director, or reading a play, just anything that felt like it was in front of me. And regretfully, I don't feel like I do those things now, even though I feel I still have to. Things change and you do have other things going on in your life. But at that time, as a 17, 18-year-old kid, I was like everything. Like I remember reading through the works of Shakespeare. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it was, what can I do to get to the next thing? And it kind of just kept moving forward. And I think, still have to implement those things. But I don't know.
No, I was going to say it's quite. We've had a few guests on who've gone with the like drama school route, right? And it's quite like also really interesting to hear from someone who didn't go the quote unquote traditional way. I mean, I'm not as like established in the industry, or like. You went to drama school, I didn't, Kitty didn't.
No.
But the love for the industry is still there.
And there are other ways in as well.
Exactly, there are other ways in, and I think sometimes you forget that very easily. And it's so much hard work.
It's not really spoken about much, really,
I think
is it?
And it's also like, it's really brave to be like, this is what I want to do, and I will not take that rejection personal, and I will go a little step at a time, and I will find my way there, so that's...
It's an industry that, it's a job, I think. Being an actor in particular, I think is something where it's a job that you just completely lack control in. So I think any time that you are able to find control, like I think that's something that you want to kind of hold on to and go, okay, well, what can I do? What's the thing that can move me forward right now? I'm sure we'll come on to that with the producing and stuff like that. But I think that's very much, I think that is very much like wanting to take control of creativity, like wanting to be in charge of what it is that I feel I can offer, whether that's as an actor or a storyteller in another sense. But it's an ongoing thing. I don't think there's a destination that you get to, and I think even people that do become overnight successes, quote unquote, like it's not what it seems. It's never what it seems. There's always a story there that just kind of, that everyone's doing the work that they need to do to get to where they need to be, I think.
I mean, I think you kind of already said it, but is there any lessons where you say, if someone were to come to you or anybody listening to this, that you learned throughout those years, where you're like, other than like stick with it and still do it, of course, because I do think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways from this. But is there something that you remember learning or an experience where you're like, this shaped the way I approach things, or that I really stuck with it? Is there anything like that?
I don't know. It's so personal, isn't it? Like we've all got our own experiences and stuff like that. I think, the consistency is always a thing. Like I think if you want something, you have to be consistent. Unfortunately, I don't think this is one of those jobs again that I think you can apply. The 10,000 hour theory, and you do. I genuinely think this isn't a job that requires a 10,000 hour theory. I think there are so many other factors. And I don't think you're always rewarded for the work that you put in, the talent that you have. So for me, it's making sure that what you want to be your job, or what is currently your job, isn't who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
Like, that's not who you are. That's not where your worth comes from. And that is something that, I can sit here and offer that as thought or advice, but I need to take that on for myself a lot of the time as well. Do you know what I mean? I think we so frequently, and because of the rejection involved in it, and the constant comparison, which isn't helpful, I think, you're always having to figure that out. But I think if you're able to craft who you are outside of the work, whether that's based on relationships that you have or interests that you have, whatever that might be, they're the things that keep you sane.
Grounded.
Yeah, I think so. Because financially, there's a whole barrier with the whole thing as well. Like, it's not, you could be auditioning 5-6 times a week if you're lucky, but also having to work a job on a 0-hour contract to keep you going and ticking over. Like, so you're constantly being split, and your energy is, you've got to protect that a little bit, I think. Just really trying to pick in moments, and that is constantly changing as well. So it's just trying to
a lot of
listen to what.
throughout.
Yeah, like, even if you're not booking jobs, they're like, well, you need to get new headshots there, and I'm like, £400, cool. I'll just transfer that across from the savings I don't have.
Yeah.
So when did you kind of make the decision to start your own production then? Like, what was that process? Was that something that you'd planned on doing, or was that something where you're like, this just like kind of makes sense for me now?
So I stepped into it because I wanted to. I'd written a piece that was relatively personal to me, and I always thought I wanted to explore. I used to make music when I was younger, but I wanted to explore it through film, and I thought that was probably the way to do it. And I'd written a script that wasn't great, and it probably wasn't the right project to initially go with, just because, like I said, it was personal. But I was like, okay, this is probably a thing that I want to do. I'd written and I directed this film, and had some incredible support from people in the short film space and other production companies that are doing really, really nice things, and they were very encouraging and enabled me to make that film. But it just felt like a disappointment a lot. Like, I think I made it and I was like, this isn't what I wanted it to be. I think it's so great in some aspects, and I think some of the people involved in it are really great, but it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. And I kind of took a step away from that, and I thought, I really don't want other first-time directors to do that. So I just thought, well, what can I do to help? And I had a friend from Birmingham who's a really great writer. He sent me a project across, and he'd already had some interest from exec producers, so they were already really helping him push the process along, and they just needed a real hands-on producer. And I was like, let me do that. Like, let me hold your hand through the process. We'll figure it out together. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I think that's a big part of what I like about it. It's bringing on people that don't necessarily have the experience or are stepping up. So if we're trying to find a makeup designer, we try and find someone who hasn't designed before but has got good experience working as a makeup assistant on TV and film. Finding cinematographers that do really want to lean into narrative but are only finding work through commercials. Things like that. I think that's always great, because then you've got this cohesive network of, we want to make this as good as we possibly can. So Ryan and I made this film called Man Code, and it's done extremely well with film festivals. And the most important thing, well, there's two things that I'm really proud of with it, is it's gotten Ryan into rooms that he couldn't get into before. I think as much as we're a creative industry, it feels like a lot of people and decision makers they're not all that creative. So if they can see the thing as opposed to reading the thing, he's already halfway. Like they're able to see it and go, cool, we know what you're trying to do. They might want to try and put him in a box. You're this type of filmmaker, you're this type of writer. But for him, it gets him in the room. He can have those conversations. Second thing is that it's found its audience outside of the creative world. Like, it's great to play at really nice film festivals. Like, it world premiered at Chicago, had a really nice UK premiere at Aesthetica, and really reputable, BAFTA and Oscar qualifying film festivals. But it's had its launch online, and it's available to watch, and it's already got, like, it's been out for like 3 months, and it's got like 300,000 views. And like the you go through the comments and you sift through, and it really speaks to the audience, and people are asking for more and wanting more from the characters. And I'm like, that's great. Like, if we're able to if we're able to make something that we're proud of from a creative standpoint, and then it goes out into the world, and people also find it as a level of catharsis, or like, do you know what I mean? Whatever that might be. Yeah, really, really, really proud of that film. Yeah, and then that was a blueprint that I've kind of used, and I've come right, and we'll set up a production company, and we'll try and do this consistently. Yeah, and that's kind of what we've been doing. We're working on another film which is just picture locked, called Peter, with a really nice filmmaker called Hannah van der Westhuizen, and they've got this beautiful vignette of a 10-minute short that's about this young trans man caring for their father who has dementia, and the illness that the father has kind of offers this small bit of respite for our protagonist, and it's just this beautiful kind of, like I said, a little vignette of this very simple day-to-day activity that the two of them go through, and there's recognition in there. I just think it's a really beautiful short. So really happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that one, because I was going to say, because it was featured in
Variety,
right? And I saw that, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting.
It's amazing.
We just, it's trying to find that little bit of press sometimes to just kind of, it's almost like things don't seem real for people until it's acknowledged by industry. Do you know what I mean? And a platform like that is really great for us. And when we was able to get that announcement out, and then we did that before receiving any funds, so we were then able to.
Because you did look aside.
Yes,
which is amazing. And then was it in collaboration or like?
Slick? With Slick.
So, as well, right?
So Slick I worked with on my film a few years before, but Hannah had actually partnered with Slick before I came on board.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Mancode was playing at Denard, a really great film festival in France, and Hannah and Hannah's partner were out there with another film and saw Mancode, and that's how we kind of connected. Yeah.
Interesting.
So was Peter something that Hannah brought to you?
Yeah. And then they met with a few producers, and I can't tell them what I can or can't do. Look, for me, the biggest thing is I just want to support you. Like sometimes the story is important, but more often than not, it's who are you? What are you trying to say? Like, what's the film that you want to make? And I want to support them as opposed to the project. The project's important, but I'm interested in the lens of the person as opposed to.
I mean, Hannah's also someone who's been in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So how do you think
winks.
that?
Winks saga. It's amazing.
So how do you think that translated into you guys collaborating on something like this? Because you have the experience of both, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I think fundamentally, if you've got a director stepping on who has experience in front of the camera and knows what they want from performance, I think sometimes that's really helpful, because sometimes you can work with a director that's all about the camera. And for me, my language isn't the camera, my language is the performance and the subtlety in that. So that was great to just be able to you know what you're doing there. And then it was just a case of just ensuring that I'm offering a safety net for those conversations that they're having creatively with more technical aspects. And again, I don't know everything about all those things, but I have a little bit of knowledge that I'm picking up along the way. And it's just facilitating those conversations more often than not, and if needed, just being there to bolster that conversation or be a middleman between creative and technical, whatever that might be. It feels really rewarding. There's no money in it. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard bit of graft, but if we're putting films out there that people resonate with, and fundamentally, that's what we want to do.
Yeah. How do you find it juggling being an actor and producer now? I was going to say, because it's right.
It's.
Do you feel like one takes a step back when the other's active? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think I would rather twist it and it be a positive thing. So if I'm testing on a TV show or something like that, but then I've got a production meeting to go into, that is the most welcome distraction from this thing that I'm not able to get away from. Like you know how it is, like in terms of throwing yourself in there, trying to get a job that you've met on 3 or 4 times already, and you're auditioning, and it's impossible to forget about it. Each step along the way, you're getting closer to this thing that, it can help you in whatever way you feel, whether it's a creative outlet that you need or whether it's financial, whatever that is. having the production stuff that I can just treat as a job.
Yeah.
And just something that feels more, okay, well, what can I get on with today? Let me get this funding application out. Let me just complete this Excel spreadsheet,
It's kind of
whatever
something
it is.
like rationally grounding and knowing what you have to do for those aspects when acting is so unpredictable.
So unpredictable.
Yeah, and it's like so outside
Out
of your control.
yeah.
And then you have something that your
that
job
you can
is
control.
to control it.
Yeah. You're in control a lot of the time. Like, you're the person that's, you know,
that gets the calls if something goes wrong.
You're literally going, right, what are we going to feed everyone that day? Or where's the camera kit coming from? And they're just like simple, no, not simple, but they're things that you can look at, and they're problems that can be solved by the work that you put into it. Whereas, acting is like, I can do my thing there, and if you guys are going to pick it up, that's great, but more often than not, they're not picking it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're putting yourself out there. And then you do that thing, and always, you walk away from a situation, you go, I wish that went like this, or I wish this was this. And most of the time, it's never about performance. It's about communication with the creative team. I just think there are so many barriers within it that's like, I really wanted to say this to the director in this moment, but there wasn't space to, because it was a chemistry read and we had other actors in the room. And then you walk away and you're like, okay, well, if I want to let them know that, then I need to tell my agent, and my agent needs to tell the casting director, and then the casting director needs to tell the director. And I think sometimes you just want to be able to just pick up the phone and go, just so you know, this is what this project is for me. Like, this is how I feel about this character. We don't get that, and I find that the hardest thing. So again, I think that's something that I've taken into producing, and tried to have like an open line of communication. Like, we've auditioned actors before, and particularly young actors. Like, I remember on my film, it was just trying to set up a line of communication with the young lads that we had that came in. And I was like, look, this is my email. If you want to drop me a message or ask a question about anything before or after the audition, that's there for you. Don't feel like you need to. You're more than welcome to go through your agent, but like, just so you know, that communication is there. You know, you can't ask directors or producers to always facilitate that. They're meeting hundreds of actors a lot of the time. But it's one of those things that always niggles at me. And, you know, it's what it is. I think sometimes you can take something into a room and offer it, and on another day you'd offer something different, and on another day you'd offer something completely different. It's just,
That's going to be an experience that those actors that work with you will always like treasure. Like, if in 10 years' time they're looking back on their career, they'd probably be like, actually, this project made me feel so safe. I learned so much. I could actually like vocalize how I felt, and it was such a, probably gives them even like a more well-rounded learning experience, because they can ask questions.
And confidence. It makes them, it's going to make them think that they're not othered in the industry. It's going to make them feel that they're a part of the industry and welcomed into the industry. Whether that industry is my little short film, or if they're going in and reading on a Netflix thing that could be the thing that, you know, pushes them further into what they need to do. I remember having a conversation with Des Hamilton, casting director, really great casting director, and we were talking about accessibility before, and he was talking about how when young actors email him, and they're up in Huddersfield or Harrogate or anywhere else up north beginning with a H, like, they're like, cool, come down and meet me. Like, if he can facilitate that, he will offer that. And I think it's so important, because when you've got someone in a position like that who's on your side, you can go into other meetings, and that conversation's not always going to be the same with other casting directors or other producers or whatever. But knowing that someone has got your back and is fundamentally trying to help you just goes a long way. And I think when you're a kid, like, if you're a teenager at that point, I remember Nina Gold and Theo Park bringing me in for an audition when I was like 17, and like travelling down to London, and went over to, I don't know if they're still there, but in Queen's Park, and auditioning for this film. And I was like, oh, they really, they kind of respect me.
Yeah,
like,
they're really interested.
Yeah. And I think sometimes because the lines of communication aren't there,
you forget they're on your side.
Yeah, so often. And it must be frustrating for casting directors as well, because they'll have people that they want to champion, or they'll have people that, you know, there's only one job at the end of the day, that they're trying to push a load of actors that they really like into a space. But so when you get that, when that line of communication feels like it's opened up a little bit, you're like, oh, this is great. And it really makes you feel looked after. I think Dan Edwards is an incredible casting director for that. Like, he won't let you leave the room unless you're like do you feel like you got it? Because I don't feel like you've got it. So let's go
Let's do
again.
that again. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's
So then
so
you're like,
lovely.
but I think that's the difference. Like in America, I feel like I got that a lot more. It felt like the room was yours. If you go into something in the States, I always felt like you go in and, cool, you've got the room for 10 minutes. Show us what you want. Like, you dictate it.
Yeah.
Whereas, I do feel like here, maybe it's a me thing, but I feel it's always, are you happy? I'm like, yeah, are you happy? Are you,
Like, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Or like, and it feels like you're on the back foot. It might be a me thing, but yeah, I do think there's a noticeable difference from my experience.
Yeah.
It's such a shame that so much of it is self-tape at the moment.
Yeah.
Because almost everything I've done this year I haven't even been in the room. Like, it's all been self-tapes.
Yeah.
And it completely, like, gets rid of that line of communication. You just feel like you're in a fishbowl, really.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't even know if they've seen it. You only get to, and they're like, only send in one take. So you can't even showcase different sides. They can't ask you to do
then
things
you're
differently.
also the one to choose what to send in.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how,
like,
how
I always
mean,
get sent them, and she's like, "What do you think is different?"
Yeah,
like
I'm
better?
always
like,
asking you
Yeah.
because it's like you have an inkling of what the character is, but if you've done different takes in different directions, you want to show them that you can take it differently and you can take direction. And
yeah,
I
and you're
don't
lacking
know.
the communication, right? Like
Exactly.
you're lacking that conversation of going, I think this, but I also think this. So where are you at? Yeah, it's a weird. I'm guessing you prefer being in the room as well, because I really like self tapes. The majority of the time, I think there are certain things where I'm like, I just need to be in the room with this. But yeah, I like the space where I'm able to, because I feel like I'm able to turn up to work. I step into the space, whereas I struggle with coming into Spotlight or a casting office in town when it's pissing down with rain and I'm on a tube and my headspace is just elsewhere. And I think I get closer to a more work-like state, like as if I was on set, when I've got my space to be in, and then I'm able to step into it, and I'm, again, the control thing. Like, I'm able to dictate how that room is. But yeah, and then as soon as directors are available to meet producers, then I'm like, get me in the room.
Yeah. And you got that confirmation that they're interested in
100%.
your
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
they
yeah.
kind of like me.
Yeah, they've already seen something that works. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, coming back to short films production, what do you think? Because short films are such an integral part of the industry, and I think they can portray so many stories, and they can, really give a starting platform for so many different people. What do you kind of, such a silly question, but like, why do you think short films are so important, and why is it that, as a producer so far, you have done short films?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about them that makes you go back to a short film format, other than, of course, the funding being fundamentally very, very different?
Yeah.
It's so expensive to make a film.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, I love going to short film festivals,
Yeah, yeah,
seeing
yeah.
these little 10-minute snippets of somebody's brain.
Yeah.
What is it that you think makes them so special to the industry?
I think it's that it's going back to that playground a little bit. I think it's offering there's creative control. I think that most of the time short filmmakers get, like particularly the directors, and there's this thing for writers. I think it's a challenge to be able to contain a story within a small amount of time, and if you're able to do that, incredible. Like you're able to show that you're able to bring well-rounded characters in, have a small arc in there, and condense that into something that is anywhere from 2 minutes to 25 minutes. That's really impressive. But yeah, you have that creativity and that room to play and figure out what works for you, I think. I did it with acting. I felt like the first few years, like I was saying, when my friend went to drama school, I just wrote to like universities and was like, have you got short film programs? Have you got short films that are going in a minute? And I've done some terrible work on short films, terrible performances. But I was able to
Me and me were on one production once, and it was hell. Absolute hell.
But like, I've been on things where I've done it and I've gone, I really feel like I smashed that. And then you watch it back and you're like,
and you're like,
that's
hang
so rough.
Hang on.
But I was able to make those mistakes because then it fuels you with a little bit of confidence when you go onto that TV set or that slightly bigger film set. You're like, I'm not going to try that today, or you kind of know where you're at, and you've done the trying. I don't think the trying stops, but you've done a large part of it to fill you with enough confidence. And I think shorts are again a bit of a playground for that. I think for directors that are stepping into that space and want to work in film, I think try and find, if you're able to make 3 short films that really articulate what you want to do as a filmmaker before stepping into like an independent feature or being lucky enough to receive funding for a feature film, then I think you're getting a bit more raw just ideas and
Oftentimes also just I feel like short films really do carry so much personality and personal value of the creators behind it. Like I don't think I've ever seen a short film where I was like, oh, I didn't understand the lesson from that.
Right.
Whereas I've seen so many features where I left
just
and I was like,
confused.
okay.
I feel like you just get a lot more. It's both so personal, but also there's so much risk that's happened.
Yeah.
It just feels like so much is put into a short film, obviously features as well, but a short film, just because like you said, you've got that condensed time, you could just tell people have poured like everything into it.
It feels like do you know what I mean, like it feels like you know where that work has gone into. It's hard because it's a shame because there are definitely indie features and like low budget features, and I'm sure big budget stuff as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think you're more resourceful when you don't have money as well. Like if you don't have that cash there, you're like, okay, well, how are we going to shoot this? Like, how are we going to do it? We can't have a car rig. So how are we getting that? And then it's like, boom, skill set comes in. This is how we do it.
Happen,
Because even just like, I think a lot of the big moments in cinema have come from people being playful with the resources they've got. Like famously, obviously, Jaws, obviously a feature. But they couldn't afford the shark.
I love that.
And
I
just
love
built
them.
Incredible. And I just think, I don't know, I feel like it gets people's creativity out.
And you have to have that room for those happy accidents as well. Like if you're constantly shutting them down and saying this isn't what this is, it's like, cool, well, the clock is ticking and we don't have any money left, so just figure it out. I spoke with a filmmaker who I remember going to him and explaining how much I liked the end of his short film, and then I worked with someone who worked on that production, and they explained, like, without me kind of talking about that ending, they were saying, oh yeah, it was a nightmare though. We did the end of this film and it wasn't scripted, and what was scripted we couldn't shoot, so we ended up, what's in the film now is what we went with. And I was like, can you tell me what was scripted and what you wanted? And they explained it, and I was like, that is crap. That is it's so much better for what you've offered. Like, because you don't, I think there's also like sometimes in film there's like this over explanation of what you think something needs to be. And it's like, well, if we're saying that it's art and we're treating it as art, then allow it to be what it is, and allow audiences to imprint themselves onto a story. Allow them to look at it and say, no, that's this shade of blue as opposed to this shade of blue. This is what this sun coming into the room right now reminds me of. This is what I feel. Like, whatever that might be, I think if you're over explaining, then you might lose it at the end. And it felt like that was one of those examples where I was like, oh yeah, good job you didn't have the money to do what you wanted.
Like this.
I think the reason you're having success in this film is because of those last few frames. So just be open, I guess, and just kind of
definitely
well,
just kind of like let it be.
Yeah.
And that's so much easier, quote unquote, if you're doing that at a short film. Because you're so much more limited to what you can do and what you can't do.
You can't overcook it really. Because you have so many constraints.
Exactly. And it's just like, I don't know, I think it's really beautiful, and I have so many friends at the moment. I have a friend who just finished the Corset Rain Dance and made a short film there, and it's just like amazing to see how much love and time, is being poured into all of those things. I'm just like so proud. So proud to see it.
And festivals are such a great space for people to celebrate and
be
find
together,
that first bit of audience.
Right? And I also think the short film section of the industry is such a collaborative and warm environment to be in, or it can be. Of course, it's very stressful, and you always, have your ups and downs throughout. But you go to those festivals, and you're with people who just really want you to see these 10 minutes. Who just really want to share this with you, and just really want you in that room.
And it's a celebration that, like, we made it. It's done. We've done it. Even after whatever respective roller coasters everyone had, it's out there, and everyone's supporting each other.
What I really enjoy about the short film, like short films in general, is that feature films, of course, oftentimes have really good cast, really good director, a producer that's well known, etc. But for short films, I feel like the focus is on everybody.
Like
in a short film, you don't forget about the sound crew. You don't forget about everybody who worked in pre and post production. You don't forget about the runners because they're all there.
Small
and they're
team.
all being celebrated for their part on it. When in a feature, when you have hundreds, thousands sometimes, you know, working on a set, it's so easy to forget that as a bystander. And when you have short films and festivals for those films, you bring all of those people together and everybody is valued equally. I think that's so nice. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we've come to the end. But is there just like any words of wisdom you have for us?
Not from me.
Not from you.
No, don't take my words for wisdom.
Or is there anything you want to fill us in on that's coming up for you? Of course, other than Peter, we will be keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah, and we've got another film at the minute that's produced a film with the BFI. That's playing Norwich at the start of November, and then doing Urban World. It had its premiere out at Rhode Island, Flickers, and then it's doing Urban World next week out in New York. Which is really nice. So that's that, and then just in pre-production, on another film with the filmmakers from Mancode. So we're shooting that in December. So we're just kind of gearing up for that, which is really nice.
How do you? Sorry, I know we said this was the end, but this is just out of interest. When you approach pre-production, have you kind of because of course you weren't nobody trained you to be a producer.
No.
And I do think you can't really be yes, of course you can go to film school.
Yeah.
But how do you approach a pre-production thing now? What differs? What is the thing where you say, this is what of course you have your things you need to fill out, and forms and locations, you need to get everything approved, etc., everything booked. But is there just any advice you have for someone who's starting off as a producer? Because it can be so overwhelming. There's so much.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's always about who's the lead creative. So speaking with the director, or if that's writer-director, just getting a sense of what it is that they want to achieve with the film first and foremost, knowing what their vision is, how they want to go about it. Because I think some people can be so specific about who they want on the project, what they want the project to be, what they want to achieve with the project, what the project is being used for. So first of all, identifying all of that, making sure that all of those needs are the things that you go forward with. So again, you've got this, talked about it a lot on this, but line of communication between you and that person. So you know very clearly when you're going into meetings, and I think it's a big part of short filmmaking is bringing on the right people. You know what is required to try and meet those expectations or deliver on those expectations of the filmmaker. And it also gives them the support. The director then doesn't need to step into a conversation that they feel necessarily, if they feel uncomfortable about, you're able to advocate for them as much as you can within those conversations. But starting with your HODs, making sure those HODs are all understanding of what it is that you're trying to do and are accommodating for that. It's all spinning plates, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't really have an order for how things go about. But obviously, if you're trying to find money, identify very quickly how you feel that you're going to find that money, what you have available to you. And it's not only about having available cash, but what's cash in other terms. So if you're able to get camera equipment for free, treat that as $5,000 worth of cash. Do you know what I mean? Try and, it just depends how you're trying to go about it. Obviously, if you're going the BFI route and you've got a very clear funding application, that's what you need. That's how you're going to get it. Great. I think that's always the thing, because I've had success with the BFI now. It's mitigating risk, I find. So if you are looking for funds on an application, and again with Look Aside, we had a really generous amount of money given us to us for that. You just want to show them that this project is ready to go, and that they can trust you with that cash. So if you already have a body of work that speaks for itself, and you can talk about relative experience and say, this is what we've done, this is how we went about it, we'd apply that same thought to this. If you're a first-time filmmaker and you're trying to get those bits of cash, you just have to be shit hot on everything. Your budget has to be so clean. I make sure your deck is
perfect.
And just interesting, just making sure that it's visually something that people can capture. And if you're able to make a sizzle reel for certain things, if you're able to pull the bits of material from projects that already exist that speak to what you're trying to make. Do that. The more you can show these people that are offering this funding that you're the person to make a film, then they're more likely to give you that money, I guess.
That's amazing advice.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that's a very good note for us to end on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Yes.
joining
Thank
us
you
and
so
taking
much.
the time.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.